Hello, I'm Ron Wilson and welcome back to PD Sessions. The Business Council of Australia has outlined several actions across various policy areas designed to improve the Australian economy, and the RBA has cut the cash rate to a record low. In international news, economists' forecasts for Chinese growth are likely to be downgraded, and the US Internal Revenue Service has delayed the deadlines for a number of FATCA requirements. In other news, the federal government has released a new economic statement, and ASIC has unearthed problems with credit card-related consumer credit insurance. Trevor Trahan has the details.
The Business Council of Australia has released its Economic Action Plan for Enduring Prosperity. It proposes 93 actions over 10 years in 9 policy areas it believes Australia needs to get right to ensure a stronger economic future. The plan includes key ideas for tackling Australia's long-term challenges, including a comprehensive audit of public spending to ensure it's being spent wisely, introduction of new productivity payments for the states to encourage and reward them to undertake structural reforms, a proposal that the states should produce 15-year infrastructure plans. In August, the RBA decided to lower the cash rate by 25 basis points to 2.5%, the lowest level since its records began in 1959. The RBA's governor, Glenn Stevens, said the Australian economy has been growing below trend over the past year, and this will continue as the economy adjusts to lower levels of mining investment. Stevens added that the RBA judged that a further decline in the cash rate was appropriate. First home buyers are still cautious about entering the home loan market despite lower interest rates, according to Australian Bureau of Statistics data analysed by Rate City. The proportion of first home buyer loans financed is at a 9-year low. The national proportion of first home buyer home loans out of all loans financed was less than 15% in May 2013, having fallen from 19% in October 2011. Economists' forecasts for Chinese growth are likely to be downgraded further over the next year, according to the latest edition of Global Perspective Standard Life Investments. The investment manager believes that while a genuine near-term hard landing is still a risk rather than the most likely scenario, the risks have increased, and the widespread confidence that the central authorities can effectively choose how quickly the economy will grow has been exaggerated. The US Internal Revenue Service has delayed the deadline for a number of Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, or FATCA, requirements for 6 months to 1 July 2014. The delay includes procedures relating to new account identification, which will require non-US financial institutions, including those in Australia, to collect detailed information on their members to determine whether an individual member's financial and residency arrangements make them a US taxpayer. Despite talk of a UK referendum to consider exiting the EU, the majority of UK businesses support the region's continued EU membership, according to the Business EU Barometer from the British Chambers of Commerce. The key points to emerge from the barometer were: businesses want more decisions made in the UK. Most businesses think withdrawal from the EU would be bad for Britain. Businesses' top 3 priorities for any future shift of powers from Brussels to Westminster are employment law, 66%, health and safety law, 52%, and justice and home affairs, 43%. And 77% of businesses surveyed support a referendum on Britain's EU membership, with 14% opposed and 9% unsure. With the federal election looming, Treasurer Chris Bowen and the Minister for Finance and Deregulation, Penny Wong, released the federal government's economic statement. It detailed the short and medium-term economic outlook facing Australia, the challenges ahead, and the path to budget surplus in 2016-17, focusing on economic growth easing as Australia undergoes transition, returning to surplus in 2016-17 in a measured and responsible way, responsible savings to maintain Australia's fiscal strength, and a new national competitiveness agenda. An ASIC report has indicated there is significant room for improvement on consumers' claims experiences for credit card-related consumer credit insurance, or CCI. Report 361 found that the process of claiming on a CCI policy can be stressful and costly for consumers who are already experiencing significant events in their life, like the loss of a job or illness. The research also identified the following in relation to consumers' experiences making a claim on their CCI policy. Most consumers did not know how to make a claim or who to contact, as often they contacted the entity who sold them the policy and not the insurer. Most consumers did not make a claim promptly. Some consumers struggled with the claim assessment process, which included completing long forms and providing documented evidence, such as medical certificates. The longer it took for a claim to be finalised, the greater the financial impact this usually had on consumers. And consumers had mixed experiences making a complaint about their claim. The results of APRA's third survey of stakeholders have been released after the study was conducted earlier this year by Australian Survey Research. The highest ranked statements in terms of agreement were that APRA staff demonstrate the value of integrity and APRA staff demonstrate the value of professionalism. The lowest ranked statement was that changes to APRA's prudential framework consider the costs of regulation imposed on industry.